Hey everyone, welcome in. It's Julie Max in the Maine Stamper. I am here for your weekly card class from Maine, and we are still working on the Festival of Trees. In fact, we're on week 7 already, 7. We have 6 fantastic card classes behind us that all feature my favorite, the pine tree. And of course, I am in Maine. The pine tree is the Maine state tree, which is fantastic. I also love Christmas, so pine trees are definitely my favorite. We are on week 7. We have 10 total weeks. So after tonight, we're going to have 3 more classes. I'm so excited about all of it. So make sure you're saying hi Jess when you jump on. I'd love to know who's watching tonight. Now tonight's class is going to be a little bit less than planned, but for you watching, it's going to be a totally normal class. I intended to use a different bundle tonight, and the bundle is not in my possession. It is currently en route to my house. So I shuffled my schedule. I did have originally 10 stamp sets or stamps and bundles that would work for my Festival of Trees. So I just rearranged my schedule, right? As creative people, that's how we make things work. So as mentioned, we are going to be using the Festival of Trees. Festival of Trees, and also Festive and Fun. There's so much festive going on, I can't even keep it all straight, which is really exciting. Festive and Fun. Now this is just a stamp set. There are no dies, no punches. It's just a simple stamp set. And if you like to color, this could be your jam, right? I'm not wearing my jam shirt today. I'm just wearing Stamping the Maine Stamper hashtag. Okay, so I do have a shirt that says Stamping is my jam. So if you like to color, this is a great class. I'm going to be showing you some different coloring techniques. We're going to go over ways to use the same stamp. See this little guy right here, this little giraffe with a tree? We're using this on all 3 cards. Now the giraffe is not going to be used on all 3 cards. So this is going to be really exciting. I'm going to show you some different ways that we can get that tree into some more cards, which is awesome. All right, let me go ahead and get you over to my workspace. I'm going to show you the card kits. As always, there's an offer that you can get card kits at home. And we're also going to talk more about the stamp set and all of the good stuff going with. So I'm just going to make sure that I transition properly, and because sometimes I don't. And there we go. I think I'm here. All right, Festive and Fun. As mentioned, this is the cling stamp set. So it is red rubber. And oh, there's only 2 stamps that I didn't use out of the stamp set. How many are in here? 8. There are 8 stamps in here. I did not use Mr. Moose, which may surprise you, but I didn't use the moose. And I didn't add in the little bird. I could have, definitely, but I didn't. So we're going to be using quite a few stamps from this stamp set. Now this stamp set can be found on page 13 of the mini catalog. Now there's a lot of things that are retiring from this catalog, and this stamp set is one of them. There's a lot of things that are on sale from this catalog. I don't believe the stamp set is one of them. But regardless, it is a really cute one. If you like little critters, if you're looking for something fun and festive, apparently that's the name here, but I reversed it, so it's actually Festive and Fun. This is a great stamp set. And this week with your card kits, I have the Iridescent Adhesive Backed Discs. So this is your free gift if you order $50 or more using my host code. I didn't write my host code down, but it is in the description of this video. The $40 order gets you the card kits. So here's our card kits. I didn't even show you card kits yet. Do these look very, okay, first of all, they look pretty fun and festive, but maybe not Christmassy. I have Pool Party, Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green. These are like summertime. I'm feeling the summer vibes today, right? We've got the really fun paper, and I pulled out designer series paper. These are some of my scraps. These are also Festive and Fun, but this designer paper is called Merry, Bold, and Bright. So this paper is so fantastic because it is so colorful. There's a lot of colors. There's some Christmas things in here, right? Fa la 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 is probably everyone's favorite paper from this pack. And there's lights, but there's also so many things that you can use year round for birthday cards, congratulations cards, celebration cards. So while this class is featuring the Festive and Fun stamp set, and I'm making Christmas cards, you could definitely get these kits and you could turn them into anything but a Christmas card. Well, I wouldn't say anything. You can turn them into lots of other things besides a Christmas card. So if you're Christmas carded out, this might be a good week to get some of the great offers in the mini catalog. Get my card kits. $40 order gets you the card kits. $50 order gets you the card kits and these cool embellishments. They're very shiny. They're also flat, so these are very mail friendly. By mail, I mean M-A-I-L. We're putting them in the mail. Postage. It's not bumpy. There we go. Okay, let's differentiate. So these are the card kits. They're so awesome. As mentioned, I am using Designer Series paper from the Mary Bold and Bright Suite, and that's where these little discs come from too. If you want to check them out, they're on page 9 of the mini catalog. So let's dig in to our card kits. We're going to start out with this one right here today. I'm going to set these aside a little bit because we're going to be getting into them. Now here is our very first card. As mentioned, we are using the giraffe and the tree in every card tonight. And look how cute our non-traditional giraffe is, right? I colored him. His little polka dots are green. So if this reminds you a little bit of the little elephant from that famous cartoon, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? The Misfit toys. The elephant had some funny colors going on. I think the elephant was white and pink, if I'm correct. And my giraffe is therefore white and green. I thought that was kind of festive and fun, right? So that's a little play. We're having fun. This is a fun card class. So we're gonna have fun the whole night long here while I'm on. Sandra, Rocky and Bullwinkle, yes, the moose. Hi, Patty. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Janice. Catherine, good to see you guys here. Okay, so festive and fun. I'm glad I have a few friends hanging out with me in the craft room. That always makes me happy. So the card kit, this is what you're getting. And obviously, as mentioned, 2 of everything and not necessarily Christmas, right? So let me grab out one of all the things that we need here. Oh, some sparkly paper. Now, I talked in my classes about how Christmas cards need to be a little blingy. So I have some like shiny ribbon and I have some shiny paper because I like the blingy stuff here at Christmas time. We're using some really great, almost boyish colors, right? We've got Granny Apple, we've got Night of Navy, we have Shaded Spruce. So they are kind of, they lend a little bit more toward the boyish colors. But obviously, with all the fun bling going on, this could be for an anybody card. And I wanted to point out, not only if maybe you're not a fan of coloring, but maybe you have some kids or grandkids who like to color. This would be a really fun kit to get and hand over the coloring to the little ones, because I find that they color really well. And then they could have fun. You could send a card that they helped you to make for Christmas. And who's going to throw that away when you say, my granddaughter colored this? Like, no one's going to throw that away. That would be a tragedy, right? All right, so let's get going on this first card. As mentioned, we are going to be stamping the giraffe and tree quite a bit tonight. He's going to make an appearance everywhere. So you've got a nice little piece of white cardstock here. And this is, let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Let me flip back over to my camera so I can see my camera. Yes, okay. I just want to make sure you can see the card and what I'm doing, all of the things. Okay, so for this first card, we're using the Memento ink. Actually, for every card, we're using Memento ink, but we're using different coloring mechanisms. We're using different coloring things. We're using different coloring for our cards. So this one you do want to put on here pretty straight because this is actually going on the card front. So it's going to be a little snug. I like to make things snug. I don't want to give you too much room. Too much room usually makes you go crooked, right? If you have to, you flip the paper over. I have done that multiple times creating cards for this class. So, let's talk about the ribbon for a second. I have this really great ribbon tonight. And it is all in color ribbon, and it's all shiny and blingy. We have Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, and this one is the Sweet Sorbet. So blingy ribbon, we're going to use 1 ribbon on each card, so I'm really excited about that. I like to have a little bit of continuity in the kits in case you like to gift them away, right? So then it's kind of fun that way when someone gets the kits and they go together. They're not just random cards, and it's not just because they have the same stamp set. It's because they go together. Okay, now hold the press, because look at this. I flipped this paper over, and I'm wondering if I want to do the lights this time instead. Let me just do a quick dry fit. While I'm doing my lives, sometimes I like to go a little rogue, and I like to change things up a little bit. I don't know if we're going to see much of the lights, though. I feel like, no, I feel like not. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this side down and keep the polka dotty side up. I like that the polka dots kind of coordinate with the giraffe's little polka dots, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Another thing that I want to point out as I put this card together, these are your matted layers. I love lots of layers. If you've got any of my card kits, you know Your cards are heavy. They are full of love, like super full of love, and lots of layers. Now, when you put this designer series paper on, so I just matted this on the white, take a look at where your designer series paper starts and ends. I feel like having these little guys down at the bottom looks a little bit nicer than putting them at the top. Now, if you're a fan of putting them at the top, then put them at, by all means, right? But I wanted to point out to you, as you're putting this together, you know, you can put these two layers together and then you can decide which one you want on the bottom. Of course, it also depends on which way your card opens. So there's always that too. So here we go. I like these little half dots at the bottom. And we're working on our bones a little bit here. Now this shiny paper is really fun. We're going to put it down here toward the bottom. And it just is adding in some more blue. This card is really green. Like, if you look at this right now, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of green. And maybe green is this color. These are bright and bold tones of green, so maybe it's not quite your thing. So we're going to add in some blue, and it's going to calm it down a little bit. But we're also adding in blingy blue, so it's not really calming it. It's just making us maybe feel a little bit better about how that all works. Let's do some coloring on our giraffe. So for this guy, we're bringing in some blends. This is my favorite, absolute favorite way to color. And I'm just going to run through the colors I have for you real quickly as I color. And actually, I think I'm going to have a seat. Let me see if I can clear off my chair without spilling all of my paper, which I'm attempting to do right now. Okay. Let me pull up a chair, because when I color, I do like to sit. Most of the time as I am creating, I am standing. So very rarely do I sit. And now I need a piece of paper. I had one somewhere. When you're working with your stamping blends, you definitely want to have something in the background, right? Because the blends are going to go right through the paper. Now, for blends, as mentioned, I was going to talk to you about what I have here. So let me start using them and then we'll go over colors. This is the light greeny apple, and we're going to do the little giraffe's spots. Now, as I'm coloring, I always use the little nib end. The short end here. I never use the brush end. These tips fray so quickly, and once they're frayed, they're pretty much useless. So I like to save them for only if I need to do a sideways big coloring job. That's the only time you really need the brush end. Otherwise, you're using this small little end here, and you're just dabbing in color, dotting in color, if you will. So just like that, we have a little polka dotted giraffe, and I think it's so cute. Now we're going to use the same color. So again, this is the light granny. We're going to come through here, and we're going to come around all of the ornaments, outline the tree. And again, this is where you say to your kids, your grandkids, I don't know, your neighbor kids, babysitting. Are you babysitting anybody? This is great. Stamp these up and let them color. Like, this is so much fun for kids to do, right? And they're helping you make Christmas cards. Now, I am not a very patient colorer. I like to be pretty quick about it and move on. I like the two-step stamping where you stamp kind of quickly, and I don't want to take a lot of time coloring. So I guess I'm just not patient enough to color. So this is just the first layer in the light. We're going to come back through and we're going to add a little bit. I'm always looking for that nub end. We're going to add a little bit of the dark granny apple. And I'm just going to come in here where there's lines on my tree. And I'm also going to kind of do the tips a little bit. So these lines that are in the stamp, so they stamped black, I'm just kind of going over them. And it's going to add a little bit of depth and dimension to the tree. And I'm not going to go over them again. So I really want them to stand out and be two different colors of green. And that's what they are. So it's beautiful, just like that. All right, for the tree trunk, I have the dark pecan pie. So this is just kind of a straight line down, up and down, and you should be good. For the little bow on the basket, I have the dark sweet sorbet. So again, another in color. So I'm just going to kind of do the basket there. I'm also going to, while I have this out, I'm going to dot the little holly berries, and I'm going to color in the giraffe's Santa hat. So just the red part of the hat, not the white parts. Okay, so that's that. Let's grab out the dark daffodil. And again, nib end to, oh shoot, I hate when that happens. Okay, so we're going to try to, as you may have seen, my whole blend kind of came apart there. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so in this instance, and because I'm not going to try to find my other color, I'm going to use the brush end, and we're going to worry about the other end in a bit. Now this one is very frayed and fuzzy. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not. I do have a whole box of brand new blends. This is not very happy blend on this end, which is why I like the nub ends. But sometimes those caps stick, and all of the force of opening them will sometimes separate the Stampin' Blend, but I will be getting a new one of those. So we've got the star done. Let's come in now and we're going to color the basket down here for the tree, and this is the light crumb cake. Light crumb cake. There we go. So I'm just going to color this in. I'm just keeping these neutral here on the bottom. Okay, now we're going to come in with the light pool party. This is light pool party, right? Yes. We're going to do this basket right here in the light pool party. I forgot to do my holly leaves. I got to come back through with the green again and do my holly leaves. I try to do everything in the same color at the same time, but here, you know what? I didn't, maybe, okay, dark granny green, dark granny apple's coming back out. We're going to do the little holly leaves down here. The holly leaves, the green and the red look really pretty against the pool party blue, I think. I really like that. I forgot to do the little hoofs on my giraffe. So he's kind of getting, I think he just has the two there. Yes, yes, he does. Okay, so we're good there. Let's bring in the Night of Navy. Now this is funny because this cap does not look anything like Night of Navy, but this is the light Night of Navy. And we're going to do the centers of the ornaments. Each of these little bulbs has some different little things going on. This one right here has 3 dots. And I'm kind of coloring from farther away. Normally I take my glasses off and color, so I cannot guarantee that any of this coloring actually looks nice. It's just one of those things, right? I don't think you want to look at my head while I'm coloring. All right, we're going to bring in the, let's see, I think we're going to bring in the dark pool party. I know I use dark pool party a little bit. This is dark pool party. We're going to just finish coloring these little bulbs on the trees. I wanted them to be kind of in the blue-green. You could definitely add, obviously, if you're doing this at home, you can color these however many colors you want. You can put the rainbow in there if you prefer. All kinds of good colors. Okay, did I forget anything? Let me take a look here. I think that's it. So, oh, nope, this ornament right here, I forgot this guy. So, really quick, this little bit of blue here in the middle, this again is the navy. And we're gonna bring in the dark pool party and go ahead and do that. And I actually did come down with a dark pool party, and I kind of outlined the box a little bit too here, just to give it a little bit more depth. Now you can go back over it if you want to with the light over top of that and kind of blend those in again, but I think that looks pretty pretty. Like pretty, right? Festive and fun, that's where we're going. All right, so this little giraffe guy here, he's gonna come onto our Night of Navy cardstock. Hopefully my glue didn't set up while I did all that fun coloring. And we're gonna pop him on here. And with these card kits, I'm also sharing with you like the recipes, right? You get the card recipes, you're gonna get ideas, tons of ideas from like how I'm putting these all together. You get lots of ideas. You can use this card recipe for other cards, right? So anything that you can fit in this little white rectangle, you could use the same layout and create different cards. And I love the versatility of that. So a good card recipe, good layout is always awesome, especially if you're not quite sure where to start. Like what to do if you're trying to make a card and you're just really not sure. All right, so one more time, I'm going to just make sure it opens properly. I did put dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to layer this over here, and I want the green to still show around. I love matting, right? And it's going to come down partially over this blingy bling, but it's still really pretty. We have to do some heat embossing. We have some flag punched pieces. You've got one in Night of Navy, one in the Granny Apple. So let me bring in my Emboss Buddy and all the good stuff that I'm going to need. So we're going to just do the green here. So I'm going to swipe this down here to get all my static off from my fingerprints. We're going to be stamping May Your Season Be One That's Festive and Fun. Now this Granny Apple is light enough that if you wanted to stamp a dark color on here, you could. You don't have to heat emboss, but I really like the look of the white on the sentiment piece. I just think it's really festive and fun, right? I think we should have a game of how many times I say festive and fun tonight during the class, because that could be really festive and fun. All right, we are off and running here. We have the Emboss Buddy on my green little flag piece. Now I have the flag going down, right? So the little flag part is going down. I'm gonna stamp this kind of in the middle-ish. As I stamp and hold, I like to cover up my Versamark ink so I don't make it messy and full of embossing powder. So I've got my stamping on here, and now you can see, hopefully you can see that I have the embossing on here too, the embossing powder. So this is the white powder. Stampin' Up! Now sells them in, I think they're 3 packs. I think you get white, black, and clear, and then you get the metallics. So if you like embossing powder, you can get actually 3 at a time. They used to sell them individually. Now there are 3 packs, and I think that's kind of the way to go. All right, I'm waiting for my heat tool to heat up a little bit, and then we're just going to come in here and emboss our sentiment. So I like that this sentiment actually has the stamp set's name in it. May your season be one that's festive and fun. And also rhymes, which is fun also. And festive, in case you're counting. Okay, may your season be one that's festive and fun. I think that looks pretty good. Let me turn off the heat tool here. And for this one, I am going to bring in a little bit of Granny Apple Green and a dauber. Because right now, it's kind of flat cardstock, right? There's 2 colors here. We have Night of Navy, we have Granny Apple. I like to add an extra color just by bringing in a dauber and some light color ink. So I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm just kind of darkening down the sides. And I noticed earlier when I did this that my sponge dauber is falling apart. It is like crumbling, and I had to like flick off little pieces of sponge that were inky. And I'm thinking I'm going to be doing it again. I tried to scrape off some of the loose bits, but what I need to do is I need to purchase a whole bunch of sponge daubers, get them relabeled, and get them back into business. So if you're ever in doubt of like, man, I've got all the stamps in the world, I've got all the paper in the world, what else do I need? Maybe you need lots of sponge daubers. I like to keep one for each color. And just like that, it's totally different, right? We've got that little bit of green on there on the outside edges. I'm just trying to clean up the green bits that may still be on my work surface, because that's not fun or festive, let me assure you. All right, we're going to, do I have any dimensionals that aren't side dimensionals? I might be using side dimensionals today, unless I can reach up and find a new sheet. I'm cheating tonight. I'm doing a new sheet. Sorry if I'm bumping my camera. My dimensionals are overhead a little bit. So this is a new sheet of dimensionals. Does that not make you happy? Like things that make you happy. I should make a list. Little things that make you happy. Dimensionals make me happy. New sheets are even better. So I'm putting 3 on the back of this Night of Navy. This was punched with the Pick a Banner punch. And I'm going to put it over here, and I'm bringing it up to the top of my designer's series paper. I'm trying to leave a little bit of room in between because I really want everyone to notice the amount of stuff that's on my card. So that's on with dimensionals. This is going to go on with the glue. So we're going to just put some glue here. We're going to start about here, and we're going to come down to about here, right here on the side. So this is where this piece is going to sit on top. So now I don't have to worry about touching this with glue on the back of my fingers. I have the glue here instead. And I have it where I know I'm going to be putting something over top to cover the glue. So that's also important. Right, so I'm going to offset them a little bit, just like this. So this one's going to come down a little bit further and definitely offset. And I like my second card better. Sometimes I like my second card better than my first card. And we have some blingy ribbon. Now in your kit you had some blingy ribbon. I already made bows tonight because we're going to be doing some coloring, and I didn't want to take up too much time while we're coloring. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my bows ahead. So because this is a very thin ribbon, instead of tear and tape, now you know I love the tear and tape, we're going to actually bring in a glue dot. You can roll it in half a little bit if you need to, if they're really big and fat. Or I should say flat, right? You can roll it a little bit and then just make enough for your little knot of your bow to hit on there, just like that. Festive and fun, right? Now the only thing missing at this point is our bling. And this is the fun part, because there's colors here. And in the light, depending on how you're looking at it, this looks green, like bubble bath pink, berry burst, kind of like a balmy blue, and then like a poppy parade. So, but when the holographic, like the colors move and shift, right? So it's got that shift of movement on there because the little blingy thingies hit the light. Blingy thingies, that also rhymed. Okay, so going back to this, we're going to decorate our tree. We're going to add on some more of these little festive dots, and we're just going to move some in here. I'm trying to remember, like, how did I do this? I'm looking at my sample over here. We're just adding them in, right? So just wherever you want to put some, make it colorful and fun, right? More festive that way. I also put one down here at the bottom. Let's go with a red one this time. Like maybe one fell off the tree, kind of similar to this little ornament right here. And I also used one of these ones. These look kind of white. The second grouping that is more bubble bath pink looks kind of white sometimes, so I actually did put this on the top of the giraffe's hat. Also festive and fun, right? So that is card number 1, festive and fun, and it is really a sweet little card. The sweet thing about it is it doesn't have to be Christmas. You could have made this into a happy birthday, and this could be a birthday sentiment, and you have a birthday card. I mean, so much fun, right? So we are done with card number 1. I'm just going to pop over real quickly and make sure that everything's still a go. Check all of your great messages. Hi, Flo. It's great to see you here. I'm glad you found me again. This is so exciting. All right, card number 1, all set. Let's move on to card number 2. Now, card number 2 is going to feature some pink. Now, I don't use pink a lot in the Christmassy designing, but this one is going to have pink in it. This is Melon Mambo, and that's because I'm pulling colors from the embellishments, from the paper, and all of the good things. So again, your card kit's going to make 2. I'm just going to set these aside because I do have a card base ready to go. And you're getting 2 white deckled circles. You're getting a white sentiment piece, another flag. I love that banner pick-a-punch. So we're using, this is actually Old Olive this time. You're getting the Sweet Sorbet ribbon, 2 sections of that to make your bows for your cards. Check out the vellum that is embossed. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but embossing with the snowflake embossing folder. Do I have a piece of vellum here to compare with? I probably buried it. Let's see. I had one here. I just don't know where it went. Maybe it's on my floor. Okay, we're gonna move on. Anyway, embossing vellum makes it look white. Now the snowflake embossing folder, which if you've been following along, you know I'm using the snowflake embossing folder on at least one card every week during Festival of Trees. This is my card with the embossing folder. I think it's just so cool. All right, I'm still separating out parts and pieces because there's a lot here. There's always a lot here. Now, your embossed pieces, because I put them in 2 at a time, one is going to be a lighter snowfall and one's going to be a heavier snowfall. So you'll be able to, so they will look a little different. Obviously, no 2 cards should ever be the same, much like our snowflakes, right? No 2 snowflakes ever look the same. So we're going to be stamping on this. Oh, I think I forgot to put something else in here. As I'm looking, I'm going to grab scrap paper. Good thing I don't have my kits all made up yet. Okay, so again, I didn't even show you the card yet, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Check out this cute little card. This is the Melon Mambo. We've got some Poppy Parade Pool Party, Old Olive, the Rhinoceros, and if you notice, I squished in the tree. So here's the Rhinoceros stamp right here. He's got the most adorable little birdies on the package. On these little Christmas gifts on the sled. And these are ice skates, by the way. I didn't realize that until I started stamping with him. He's ice skating, which is super cute. In my card, we're actually going to put the tree on the sled as well. So we are going to jam this full. Now, I'm looking at the back and it's really cute. Obviously, if you're getting these kits and you're doing something different with them, look at how cute, right? You've got all kinds of stuff. Now, you may not want to use snowflake vellum. Maybe you do. I don't know. But the snowflake vellum goes on here. You've got this. You can decorate this with whatever you want. I've got a little sentiment piece here. This is all optional, right? So you can get creative is the point with the card kits. You can get creative. I'm going to keep the stripies up because, boy, oh boy, I love the stripies. And especially on this card, they are bold. These are bold stripes. This Melon Mambo and the Poppy Parade, they are not kidding. They're right here in your face saying, hey, check out this fun card. Now, these cards are obviously a little bit more contemporary. Not everyone's cup of tea, right? Some of you like really elegant Christmas cards and you're like, whoa. But, if you have littles that you're sending cards to, or your littles are sending cards to friends, then this stamp set is fantastic for that. Maybe you're just a kid at heart, right? That's a thing too. Now, I want to point out that I have used a white layer. I'm going to bring card number 1 back in really quickly. A white layer on the card base before I put on the designer series paper. And there's a method to that madness. This paper is so bold and wild. I felt that the white, the brightness here helped to break it up, because otherwise it's just so much color on color and it almost hurts your eyes. It's like you need sunglasses maybe even. So I did add a white layer If you want to use the white layer on the inside instead, that's all up to you. Like you can do that if you're like, whoa, too many layers, Julie. What are you doing? Like, I am using up my cardstock. And then I'm sharing it with you so you can help me use up my cardstock. It's a win-win, really. All right, so this little pool party on here is just to introduce more color to all of the bold colors that's going on. Now, you know how tricky vellum can be to put on to anything, right? Because you never want to see the adhesive behind your vellum. That kind of detracts from its beauty and elegance. We're actually just going to grab, I got tear and tape. If you were with me last week, I ran out, so I got a whole new roll. It also makes me happy. We're going to put a piece of tear and tape right across the middle of this pool party. Now, it doesn't have to go all the way across. If it's a little short, that's okay. If it's a little long, that's also okay, because you can squish this back over a little bit once you pull the adhesive off. You can kind of roll this backwards a little bit if it's a little bit longer than you intended it to be. Okay, so you can roll that back if you need to. So there we go. We're just using one strip of adhesive, and we're going to put our snowflakes down. Now, you can decide if you want the heavier snowflakes at the top or bottom. I never can decide. I feel like the heavier snowflakes should go to the bottom. So that's where I'm going to go. Now, this is going to cover up most of the pool party, but it's giving a really nice background for our vellum also. And I can just see a hint of tape through here. So it's a good thing we're going to cover it up with this. So we have another piece of cardstock coming in. And this one, again, is from the Banners Pick-a-Punch, which I adore. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. So we're going to put this on here. I think maybe 3 might be nice today. And we're going to cover this adhesive right up. Now, you probably can't see it on camera because camera's a little bit farther away, but to the eye, in person, it definitely, you can see a little bit. So we're going to come right across here, across the middle, and we're covering up. I love the cover-ups. We're covering up our adhesive. Now, this is loose on the top and bottom, but it's not something that's going to be really flimsy, floppy. It's not really an issue at all, and it's festive and fun. We're going to keep going with festive and fun. So now, here's the bones of your card, right? You could put this on here with whatever you want. Do you need a cupcake? Do you need an ice cream cone? I mean, I don't know. What else could you put on this? This is awesome. So you do have a sentiment piece here if you so desire, and you've got this piece, and we have a bit of doing to do on this, so we're going to get to it. So we're going to bring in, this time we're bringing in the rhinoceros and his little posse of birdies and presents. It's so cute. So again, with the Memento ink, let me flip this over and go this way. I like to do it this way. If you, fun fact, if you put your name on your ink pads, when you're inking up your stamps like this, and you can read your name, then you'll remember what your name is, just in case you have, you know, memory problems. So this is me. I'm Julie. Okay. So we're going to come back in here now, and we're going to stamp this rhinoceros, and we're going to try to get him as far to the left as we can. Like his horn, I want him to come way over. And I'm just going to press this down and hold this for a second because the ink will transfer longer as you keep the stamp on the designer's, or I'm sorry, on the cardstock. This is cardstock. And there we go. There's our little rhinoceros man. Isn't he cute? All right, so he's way over, as you can see. And it doesn't really matter that the sled comes off a little bit. That's not our worry. We have 3 cute little birdies. We're going to color these a little bit differently, and I am so excited. I don't do this very often. Watercolor pencils. Okay, so watercolor pencils. This is a new pack, and when I opened them up, I felt like a kid with a box of Crayola crayons. Like, it's just so exciting, right? So if you're making your stocking stuffer list, and you need things in your stocking that maybe you don't have yet, maybe you want to ask for a box of these because they're really fun. Now there's lots of colors here. We're not going to be using every color in the rainbow. We're just using some of the colors. So I'm going to just do some quick coloring here. We're going to start with basic gray, and we're going to color the rhinoceros kind of lightly. We don't need to press down super heavy. Okay, we're just going to kind of shade him in here. Come along the whole body here. You can do his head. We're going to do his ears a little bit. Okay, so you don't want to do it too heavy and dark, because that's not really the point here. We're just going to kind of shade him in a little bit. And we're going to do his body, or hers, if it's a lady. Maybe this is a lady rhino. So we're doing Rhino's body here, just down to the legs and up and around and such. We're going to come back in with a blender pen, and we're going to make this look a lot nicer than it is. But there we go. We're also going to bring in this cute little, what is this one? Fresh Freesia. It's kind of a purpley pinky color. We're going to add a little bit of like blush to the rhino's cheek. So maybe it is a lady. And we're going to add a little bit of pink here on the ears, just a little bit. Okay, with the Old Olive, this is Old Olive, we're going to do the wreath. And that's why I chose the Old Olive piece for this card, is to bring these colors together. And I know that I'm meeting people that are checking out Stampin' Up for the first time. They're kind of new to Stampin' Up. And they are just blown away, like seriously blown away, by how much coordinating everything just works so nicely together. We are going to bring in, this is Real Red. I don't think I want Real Red. I want Melon Mambo. We're bringing in Melon Mambo because we have a lot of Melon Mambo here. So we're going to do the bow. So we're kind of keeping, instead of red, we're doing more pinks on this guy. And then we're going to do the scarf. We're going to just kind of add in some color here along the scarf. And I'm just kind of moving quickly here and catching every other or so, right? So she's got, I should say. We're just gonna call it a girl. We're calling it here. She's got some little stripies here going on her little scarf, and then her little ice skates. They are also going to be pink ice skates. How cute is that, right? Okay. And I know sometimes it can look like it's maybe not quite as pink, but it is pink. We're gonna do birdie hats. We're gonna do just the top here of the 2 birdie hats. We're not even gonna color our 3rd bird. I just want you to know that the 3rd bird is not going to be part of the party here. I'm going to color this present in this beautiful Melon Mambo color. Kind of trying to work as quickly as I can. I meant to have one of these colored ahead, but it just never quite happens. And then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock. Now for this one, for this card, I did similar to what they did in the catalog. I added extra stripes over top. So I just kind of came back through with the Melon Mambo and just added, I'm going to go this way this time. Added some darker lines, and then it looks like we have some stripy paper just like this. So it adds a little bit. It really does make it look nice. We're going to do the same thing with the Old Olive and this present right here. We're going to just do some green, and then we're going to add some stripes in. So I always like to kind of make my stripies go in opposite directions. So this one, the stripies should go this way, just so that they're not all same. Okay, so we've got some stripies on that one. We're going to color, this is kind of funny, this is called Blue. Now I think this is probably Blueberry Bushel, but this is officially called Blue. And I don't know why they didn't just come out and name it a color that they already have in their lineup, but it is blue. So we're just going to do blue plain. We're not going to worry about blue too much. We are going to come in and do the birdies, and I did the birdies in... Oh, not early espresso. What else? What other colors do I have here? Pecan pie. That sounds lovely. So the little birds are in pecan pie. Just their bodies and their heads. And I'm only coloring 2 here. 2 little birdies. Oh, I forgot to color their scarves. They have little scarves on. Like, the details here are crazy. We're bringing back Melon Mambo and we're doing little birdie scarves. And again, this is far away, but up close it's super cute. We need to do the sled a little bit. So we're going to do, what color do I have here? Pecan pie for the runners here. So this is a lighter wood on the bottom, according to me. You can obviously color it however you feel. Or, again, let your kids have at it, right? Hand this over and be like, color these for me. I need 25 for cards and go. We're going to do early espresso, and we're just going to color in the base of the sled with the early espresso. There's not a lot here for that, so it's just kind of a little bit. Now again, you're going to notice I didn't color that one birdie. We need to do some beaks in yellow. This is a great yellow color. Trying to make sure my birdie beaks are colored in there. Okay, I think I have everything on here that I want to color. And now we're going to bring in a blending pen, a blender pen. These are called blender pens. Stampin' Up sells them in packs of 3. So basically there's like a glycerin liquid in here, and you're just going to go over top of your watercolor pencil, and it smooths out the lines. It shades and smooth a little bit. It just makes it look nicer. Now I'm going to caution you to not go over it too much, or it's going to pill up your paper. Like, your paper will actually suffer for repeated use. Okay, so when you're done coloring on whatever color you're filling in, you want to just scribble off on a scrap paper to make sure that you clear out the color, because the tip will hold the color that you're using. And then you can just kind of come back through and then do whatever is green here. Actually, I'm not going to do that present because I want that to be stripy. If I colored that present in, then it would blend and you wouldn't see the stripies anymore. Let's come in here real quickly and just kind of, we're going to touch up the scarf here a little bit. So this is like our two-step coloring almost. I guess you could call it two-step coloring. Now you're going to, I don't know if you can see or not, but the tip of this picks up color. It picks up the color. So it's kind of swooshing it around, which is kind of nice too, right? Because there's like a liquid in here. So we'll do our little birdies. And again, I'm going to, so over here, you can kind of see that that left a bit of red on the tip. As soon as it comes out clear, you're good to start the next item that you want to do. We're going to do the birdies, bodies and head a little bit here. And I just like that this kind of smooths it out a little bit. I'm going to go right into the brown because brown and brown, that's all good. Okay, I think we're good here. Oh, the blue on the present. Let's do this blue one. I didn't add stripies to this one, so I want this one to look a little smoother before we put in our tree. We still have to put in our tree. All right, so that's good there. I'm going to leave that open for 1 second. I'm going to come back in with the blue, and where this little hippo has some lines underneath for her skates and a little bit here on the sled, I'm pretending there's lines here. I'm actually adding a little bit of blue here to give us a little bit of grounding, and I'm going to come in and kind of soften them a little bit. So you're going to see that it's going to kind of blend, and it's just really kind of cool. And come down a little bit like that. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm going to pop this away, grab a sip of water. Now we need to shade a little bit with some Pool Party because I felt like this was really white, like way too white. Let me move some of my toys out of the way. I have so many things today. All right, Pool Party, yes. Blending brush, yes. So we're just going to come down through here and we're going to add in some blue. Kind of shade that a little bit up and down and around, however much you want. I'm leaving the middle untouched, completely untouched. So it's a little bit brighter in the middle, but it has the illusion that we've actually added some color to it. It's definitely not super bright white anymore. So that's all we need to do with that. Now, you're going to see that we're missing the tree, and I did forget to cut paper for my card kit. So there's probably a reason for that, but let's pretend this is your paper, which it probably was. And we're going to bring in the Memento ink. And as mentioned, we're using this giraffe 3 times tonight, like 3 times. Okay. So for this one, we really only need the tree. I don't really need all of it. I'm not masking the giraffe. I tried that. Believe me, it was not worth it. Don't try to mask the giraffe. Just go with whatever you can. So we're just you're gonna have a scrap in your kit, and you're gonna stamp the tree and the basket, and it's gonna look like however it's gonna look. Doesn't even matter because we're actually gonna fussy cut the tree out. Now I did fussy cut the tree out. Oh, here's my vellum. The vellum that I wanted to show you that was like plain vellum. All right, fussy cut the tree. We're gonna color. I'm gonna color this really quickly so we don't lose so much time. So you would fussy cut the tree out. As you can see, this is what it will look like when you do so. So we're doing a little bit of fussy cutting here. It's worth it. And I threw all my pencils aside. So we're gonna just really quickly color in the tree, like super quick. And then maybe I'll fix it up later, just so you can get the idea. So we're doing kind of the same thing here. This is an old olive green, and so it's a little bit different from the granny apple that's in this card pack. I'm just going to be really generic here for right now because I do see that we are chugging along on the time clock. This is pecan pie. What did I use? I probably did use this or something similar. Kind of kept the baskets neutral down here at the bottom. Okay, so I'm not going to actually I see one of my little bulbs fell off of the tree. Oops, now it's on my finger. Okay, technical difficulties here. There we go. Okay, so to put this tree in here, I wanted to share with you how I did this because this tree is really tall. And the bird here that we're going to cover up. So we're going to cover up this bow and bird. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the paper snips in and we're going to cut off the bottom. Just like that. And then again, if you put this on here and you cover up the, bring the base of your tree to the top of this present and kind of adjacent to these 2 birds, you're going to also see that it could be a little bit long. So we're going to trim this up again. Not too much, but a little bit. And this time we're going to bring in some adhesive, and we're going to very carefully attach this present onto our sled and adjacent to the little 2 birds that we colored in. And then we're going to take this trimmed piece that we did, this little tiny piece, right? That is so tiny. I'm actually going to put some glue down here at the bottom of my tree trunk, and we're going to put the little basket here so it looks like it's sitting on the sled. And that's how I got the sitting on the sled tree. So that's what that looks like. It's not quite colorful and pretty, but that's what it's going to look like. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you where the dimensionals go here so we can get this onto our card base. And for this one, let me flip it over one more time. We're just doing top and bottom. So we've got a couple here at the top and a couple at the bottom. And the reason for that is we've got this piece that was already raised up. We did this a long time ago, but this is on dimensionals. So that's going to hit the middle for our little decorative circle here. This is the deckled circles. And so we've got them top and bottom. So they're going to come over top of here. We're going to put this on here. It's going to be beautiful, just like that. I will fix this up later, but we are also adding at the pink bow. There's cute little bows for each of these. And then the bling. And then this one will be done. I seem to have lost my glue dots. My glue dots. They are in a box. Here they are. Okay. Here we go. So again, because this is very kind of fine thread, ribbon, if you will. I'm going to put that down there. We're going to put this on here. A cute little bow, just like that. Now I came through and I put the ornaments on the tree, so I didn't color these bulbs in this time. I just put them, these little dots, right over top of the tree ornaments, and then I put a couple on the card in some different places. We didn't stamp happy Christmas wishes. It can't be as festive and fun without our sentiment, right? So here's your sentiment piece. Somewhere here in my crazy mess, I have a sentiment that says Happy Christmas Wishes. So we're going to just ink this up in Melon Mambo. We're going to stamp that on here. Ta-da! And it turned out beautiful. Okay, so that's just going to go on our card. So you get the idea of how I did this card. I don't want to take too much more time on this one because, my goodness, the coloring took, see, and probably that's why I don't like coloring that much, is it takes, oh goodness sakes, it takes a long time to color and do all those little fine details, which will keep your children very busy while you're wrapping all your presents and doing all your baking, right? Make them do some pretty coloring. So there's an idea of what this card will look like. I just love the little hippo. I love these fun bright colors. Now we need to get on to card number 3. And let me grab in the card kit. My goodness, I've been burying everything over here. Let me find my card kit. Card kits. I got my pencils, stamp set. This is the pink one. This is the, okay, yeah, this is the last one we're doing. Now this may look a little bit like the first card we did, because you're like, wait, didn't we just do blues and greens? We did. I was feeling very blue when I created this card. So this is our first card. This is a kind of similar but different. So here's our card kit. Let's grab it apart real quick. I've got some embossed white cardstock for you. I've got some punched pieces. This is Blueberry Bushel. This is a color that I don't use a lot, but I'm really excited to start using a little bit more. You have pieces that we're going to do a little bit more fussy cutting. Here's some Parakeet Party blingy ribbon. This piece of white will come with the stitched edging. You've got some really fun designer paper or some really fun designer paper. Either one will look good with this one, I want to just say. All right, let me put these pieces away, bring in my card base that's scored, and we are going to get busy on our last card. This card class, my goodness, it's crazy how fast this time is going tonight. And let me bring in the card so you can take a look at it. This is our last card. It is super cute. We have the little beaver, which I thought was way cuter than the moose, right? Also, it size-wise looks really cute next to this little tree. So let's put the bones of our card together, and let's think about the fact that you could use the trees on this one if you wanted to. I'm just gonna throw some layers on here, layers, 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 and I still really like the stripies. I'm not switching it up tonight. I'm gonna put the adhesive down on the trees, even though they're really cute, and you could use these trees on this card kit. So I'm gonna come through here, and again, I'm bringing in that piece of white. That's our first layering piece, and it's just helping to break up all the busy, bold, bright patterns. We need a little bit of white in here. Kind of like cleanses our eye palette. I just made that up. I don't know if that's really a thing, but it is a thing that you need some white space on your card so that you can just, your eyes have a resting space. The resting space is a true thing. All right, so I'm just adding on layers and layers and layers because This is what I love to do. Now, of course, we have covered up most of this cute little paper, but you do see some top and bottom, which is really nice. These papers right here are going to layer together. So these card kits are super easy for you to check out the embossed pieces, check out the cardstock quality, the colors of the cardstock, see how these layers all work together. And so they're really just ideas. I mean, I know that you're making these card kits so that you can send cards, but they're also ideas. And there's so many ideas, right? So again, we're just going to continue on here. All of these are cut for you when you get them. So they're already embossed. They're die cut for the most part, right? Everything here. And voila, we've just made just a really nice big layer cake. Let's call that a layer cake. So we've got our punch pieces. This is the 2-inch circle punch, the 1 3/4-inch circle punch. I have blueberry bushel ink, and somewhere I have a sentiment that says a little something for you with lots of love from me. I think that's so super cute. This should stamp really nicely, and if not, I have 2-sided paper here. Oh, I did it. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and attach these together again with the layering, but I love anything that nests. I think it's adorable, right? So this is going to go on here. So again, you're going to see the bones of your card, so you can kind of see where we're going with everything. Now on those white papers that I tossed aside somewhere, I tossed them aside. You actually have white papers here. You're going to be stamping the tree, again, from the giraffe stamp. He did make an appearance on each of the cards, and you're also going to stamp the little beaver. Super cute little stamp, and I already did that, and I actually already fussy cut them, so that saves us a ton of time right now. So these are ready to go. We're just going to do some coloring. I'm using the same blends that I used on my first card, so I didn't even have to grab out a whole new palette of colors. We're just sticking with the same ones that we already have. So we're going to come in again. I'm going to do this very quickly. Light granny green. We're going to come down through, and I like the blends the best. I think the blends color so nicely. For a person, for myself, person that does not like really to color that much, the blends are great. They're absolutely fantastic. I paused for a moment because I could hear my dog snoring. I just wondered if you could hear her too. You probably can't. She's kind of snoring at my feet. I think she stopped. She was definitely snoring. Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not putting you guys to sleep too. I know that coloring can be relaxing, right? They say. Like I have not addressed the relaxing part. Coloring can be relaxing, and maybe you're watching me color tonight and you're like, man, this is kind of boring. But I know that some people love to watch the coloring parts and all these little parts and things that are going on. So the dark granny green here, going on the tree, just like on our first one. We're going to use the pecan here on our tree trunk. We're going to bring in the poppy. So again, these are the same colors from my first card, which is really nice because then you can just repeat. If you have these colors out, if you have colors out, I should say, it doesn't even matter what colors you have out, just repeat. I'm going to try to see if I can find where the little pieces of this little guy, his little candy cane go. I'm bringing in the light crumb cake, and we're going to do the beaver's body in light crumb cake. Now I'm trying to avoid his eyes and his teeth because I feel like they should be a little bit whiter. So don't go over all of it, right? Trying to hurry, get this guy colored in so I'm not taking up too much time. Getting close to the hour here. I try to stick to like about an hour. Coming back in with the dark pecan pie, and we're going to do the tail, little beaver tail here. Super cute, and his feet. Right here, just laying down a little bit of color. And then I came through and I kind of put a little bit here on the bottom, and I put a little bit here on his arms, and just here kind of underneath his head. And I don't know if my camera will pick any of that up, but you can see some very harsh lines there. I'm going to come back in with my crumb cake, and I'm only going to color over the spots where I just put the lines. I'm not going to color over the entire critter, but just kind of blend. That's what the blender pens are for, right? Kind of blending those two colors together. And once it's dry, it just kind of makes it look a little bit nicer. Okay, Mr. Beaver is done. We're almost done with this. Let's see. I'm going to bring in the crumb again for this little basket here. Now for these bulbs, I kept it even simpler. Rather than using two different colors on them, I only used the Night of Navy. So again, I just did kind of the middle sections here on each of them. Dot, dot, dot. This little guy here on the bottom, and voila. Really cute, right? I love how simple and sweet this card is. So we're going to put some dimensionals on these things, and we are almost done with our card adventures for tonight. So I hope that you've enjoyed this card class too. I hope that you've had a good time hanging out with me while I played Festive and Fun. I still have 3 more weeks of card classes where I'm focusing on the trees, right? So we all know that, you know, Christmas is coming. We're all doing Christmas cards. Maybe you're all done with your Christmas cards. And if that's the case, pine trees are more than Christmas trees, right? A Christmas tree is a tree that's decorated. A pine tree is good for year-round cards, especially masculine cards, sympathy cards, all of that kind of good stuff. So there's lots of different ways that you can use the pine trees. We're going to bring in the dimensionals and the little sentiment here, pop it over here to the side, and then I'm going to bring in my tree. Now I use the small dimensionals on the back of the tree and the beaver because this is a smaller section. I like to have all the sizes, right? So I'm going to put this in here. Actually, I'm going to fussy cut. I already fussy cut. I'm going to dry fit just to see where I want that to go. I think right about there is good. I want them to be kind of snug next to each other, not too far away. I want this guy looking up at the tree with his fancy little candy cane. And we're going to just put him on here. Now, fussy cutting these is not super difficult. I know I didn't do it live. It just takes, to be honest, I think fussy cutting is easier than coloring. That's just me. I'm going to say it. Fussy cutting, way easier. Coloring takes longer. Fussy cutting does not take as long. Okay. So I've got a little glue dot here again. I'm going to just kind of roll this a bit and put it underneath my sentiment. And you can kind of manipulate it and move it around a little bit. So I've got my little bow here. Parakeet Party. These colors just, I mean, they all go together really nicely. I would probably trim that up a little bit. But we also need bling. We didn't do the bling yet. So for this one, I wanted to keep a lot of white space on this card. So I only put the bling, and I used the greener color bling. And I put it just underneath, kind of accenting my little sentiment here. Because I felt that was a nice place to put it. Just kind of 3 little dots right there across. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. So I love to know. I know I haven't been checking comments in a bit because I was kind of trying to hurry here and get my cards done because this coloring business took a while. Okay, this one's not completely finished, so we'll pretend we'll just cover up the parts that aren't completely finished. But here are the cards from tonight's class. They are definitely bold and bright, right? We've got some really non-traditional Christmas colors, but they are super cute and fun. And I hope that you enjoyed watching me color these in because that is work for me. Coloring in, I can do all kinds of things. I can cut cardstock for days. I can design cards. I love to design cards. I can do all kinds of things. I can fussy cut if I need to. I can do all the things, but coloring is not my favorite. Hi, Linda. Oh, watching Rudolph and me. That's so cute. I love Rudolph. The pink card is Jess's favorite. I know there's a couple of pink fans out there that are going to love that one too. Hi, Rhonda. Just looking to see here real quick if I can see your comments. And watercolor pencils are fun to play with. I do enjoy playing with them. I like the blends because they go on really fast. They just lay down that color and you just roll. And I'm always like kind of speedy like that. So that's what I like to do. So that is our card class for tonight. Oh my gosh. We did it. We did it in just under an hour. That was my goal, is to just get these done in under an hour. That's 3 cards. 6 card kits coming to you with your $40 order this week. The host code is, I'll put it in the comments again, but it is the same one that I used last week. It's thru, GB, EB, VJ. So that's the host code. For this week. $40 order gets you the card kits, $50 order gets you the kits and the embellishments. That offer goes away at end of day on Friday. Yes, Michelle, they are very cute. They are cute. If you're looking for cutesy cards, this is a fun stamp set for sure. So, okay, that's it. I appreciate your time and hanging out with me and checking out the cards. I will be doing some kind of a color swap. I haven't even figured that out yet, to be honest. These are so colorful, I can't even wrap my head around a color swap at this point, but I'm going to do a color swap card. That'll be over on Positive Paper Crafters on Wednesday, and I'll be back on Thursday for Thursday at 3, where we'll do maybe a fun fold, maybe a 3D project. I haven't decided yet. I have the week ahead of me, and that's so exciting. Thank you again for spending time with me. I really appreciate you. Let me know what card is your favorite, and until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.